made. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. How's it going? Let's see if anybody joins. Astro, how are you? How is life going? Are you enjoying your live streams? You know, I basically took like 1 week or a little over a week off from daily live streaming. It was nice. It was really nice. Now I'm going to have to kind of make myself get back into the swing of things. Oh, how fun! Yeah, that is so fun. I did see your video or your short when you got baptized. That was so cool. Oh, the camp ended. All good things must come to an end, right? Yeah, I had so much fun at the past few days, and it had to come to an end. I was like, back to my regular life. You know, whenever I respond to comments and then someone responds back, I don't get a notification, which is weird. On my own channel and on other people's channels, anytime I respond to them, I don't see the response back. If you happen to respond. But that's so cool. That is so cool. Hello, Esley Molina. Thank you for your compliment. Very kind of you. Me and my best friend Charity are going to a mini golf course this weekend to reward ourselves. That's fun, Astro. I'm American Mexican. I call myself actually like Tex-Mex. Oh, she volunteered too. How cool. Someone is Nevaeh and they are Vea for short. I like that. GTG. Later. What is the temperature like, Astro? For you, is that an outdoor mini golf course or indoor? It's always fun when you find someone to talk to, right, Astro? Doesn't matter what age you are. We need human connection. I mean, when you're married, it should be with your spouse. But it's always nice to have someone to talk to. I made some new friends, so let's see. Two for sure, because the third one, I don't know if she really wanted to. She's not texted. Like, we made a group chat. She never responded. One I already knew, but I got to know her more this past few days, and then I met two other women who we have a lot of things in common. We're all different ages, but it's still a lot in common. Oh, yeah, you're gonna feel. Well, I don't know about where you're at, but I can only be outside maybe 5 minutes, and then my skin is cooking. Okay, this is not for children, but yeah, I don't need third graders here. Yeah, when you're hanging out with someone that you really like, the temperature's not gonna matter. No, it won't. But I wonder if I got it darker when I went out past few days. Oh goodness, yeah, I gotta figure something out. Who's that? Hmm. Plus, even though I do like her, I'm okay with us being really good friends. Oh, I forgot. I need to go. Oh goodness. I need to write down all the stuff I need to do and do it. So I told someone I was gonna go with them later today. I almost forgot. Oh, is it? Let me see what my temperature is going to be. No, we're not going to be that low. We're not going to be that low at all. We will be under 100 though. Which is good. Hey Siri, set alarm for 4:30. I need an alarm for everything so I won't forget. so I won't forget what time to go. Oh, that's her daughter. Yes, we're gonna be in the high 90s. Um, I don't know if there's any indoor golf courses. I remember there was one at the mall, but it was, I highly doubt it's there anymore. It was inside one of the suites there. Oh goodness, I feel like I don't even know what I'm saying right now. June 30th to July 3rd, that's so cool. Hmm. Well, my dad he found out some bad news, and so we've got to take him to the doctor basically the whole month of July every day. So that's going to be my plans in July. Oh my goodness, that sounds so cool, Astro, that you're going to Montana. Wow, how fun. Hey, Bombastic. I'm sitting here making mental notes of the things I need to do. I can't just write it down. I can't just think about it. I can't just write it down. I've got to do it. So I did one thing that I checked off my list before I came on here. Made an alarm for something I have to do later today. Okay, Astro, have you ever been on horses before? Yeah, so I was hanging out with my new coworkers and they were talking about one of them, her family has a ranch in Texas. Another one her family has a ranch here in Arizona. And then it just had me all my feelings because they were playing Mexican music and talking about dancing and all the fun stuff they do. And that they have horses. I was like, oh, it was fun, but it just made me sad for myself. And I don't know how to make things happen in that particular area of my life. Um, Bombastic, do you go to the rodeo where you live? I'm gonna have to see when the rodeo comes to my town area. It's small though. And go hang out and see if I can find me a cowboy. July, August, October. Oh, you haven't gone in a long time? Yeah, I went uh I think it's been a long time. I'm not even going to say how long it's been since I went to a rodeo. And this place I used to go dancing on Friday nights and Saturday nights, they're still open in town here. Well, it's not in town, but it's out. And I'm like, should I go? That's not a place you go by yourself. I need to find me a friend who wants to go dancing. Good for you, Astro. Yep, dancing. Life just hands you a whole bunch of stuff, and it's like, Lord, this is too much. This is too much, but I have to believe that the Lord will get me through it. Omar Zaman, he says, stay away from the horses. Remember what happened to CRISPR Rev from Superman? No. What happened? Oh my goodness. Y ahora que te tengo aquí, tú eres el aire, la luna y el sol. Oh goodness. Omar says, oh, Astro says he can handle himself. Okay, Astro, you're not that grown. Oh, you're talking about the actor who played Superman. Oh, yeah, I remember. Geronimo is here. Geronimo Jasso? I don't even know how to say that. I am so antsy right now. I don't know why. I need to calm down. His son had an interview a few months ago. The actor who played Superman. His son's really good looking. I already forgot his name though. Long time no see, Kay. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've probably seen anybody. I was going to look at my internet usage pattern so far with just me by myself alone. What is it? Kita, I will say this. I have been better, but thank you, Jesus Christ, that I am here. Yes, I remember your Kita. What? Excuse me. Okay, hopefully my internet is not going to go out, but I see that there is an outage in my area apparently. Wait a minute, what is that emoji, Bombastic? Omar says he would probably go dancing with you if it's not around horses. Who would? Who are you talking about, Omar? Oh, look at that. I used 3 GB of data 2 days in a row. I'm doing good here. Those were the 2 days I basically wasn't home. A cat in a box. Okay, that's what I thought. Why do you want me to search up the time? Superman's son. Oh, that's too funny, Omar. Is Casanova here? Casanova, are you here? Um, so apparently my brother's going to be out of prison in the next 3 months. In 3 months or so. It is Casanova. Yes. I knew it was Casanova. I'm trying Casanova. There's a lot happening. A lot has happened. A lot is still happening. But what is it? Bombastic. The devil will not destroy. It will not destroy me. He lies. He steals and destroys or something like that. But he ain't gonna take away my joy. Omar says there is a number you can call to find out the time if you don't have a cell phone. Is there, Omar? You know what, Casanova? That is so true. It's like this week, well, actually, it started last week. I feel like I'm just under attack every day. It could be something really tiny, really small, but I feel like have been under attack. And I'll be alright. I'll be alright. Makes bad food too. Casanova, how is your eye doing? Casanova, did you like that live when I was at, I know I didn't really share too much of what was going on in the room I was in, but that night I was at the hotel. I think you're the only one there that's on right now. You just need to have that spirit and that smile like you had when you were in that hotel room that you didn't really want to go to, but then you seemed like you enjoyed yourself. Is it going to be noisy? Thank you for remembering about my eye. I just got a little red dot on the left side, but it's already almost healed. Oh, good. Good. Yeah. My coworkers are all on a different level than me. And it's no surprise because I have told you guys that I always feel like an alien. I feel like a stranger here on Earth. So I was the only one not drinking, the only one not cussing, the only one not acting all. I mean, that was, I had fun, don't get me wrong, but I clearly stood out, even in what I was wearing. Okay, they were not dressed like I was, they were dressed very different. Oh, they had their tattoos everywhere. Um, but I can have fun around anyone. You know what I mean? Gabe is back. Omar is here. Omar Plummer. Omar Z says they are on the love boat. LOL is here. Casino says thank you once again for having a good memory and paying attention to who you're talking to. I like people like that. Yes. You know, you guys spend your time on here just as much as I'm spending my time with you. You know what I mean? So I pay attention to those of you that come here quite often. Bombastic was here, but she's been a little bit quiet. So I'm not sure if she's still here. But anyways, we'll see if anything becomes of that group. Oh, there she is. That's why you feel like an alien, because you're not in the same vibe. Yeah. They were okay with me not drinking, okay? They weren't trying to force me. They weren't trying to influence me. It's just, I was just there listening, enjoying the music that they were playing. um, Casanova says, but it's a good thing that you stood out because that's what everybody wants to be like, not to drink, not to smoke, sober 100% themselves. Yes. Okay, so you all who are in Texas. Okay, Bombastic is listening. Do you guys know who Midland is? I'm going to assume he's from Texas because there was one person who is from Texas, and she made it sound like that particular. Actually, I don't even know what I'm saying. Anybody know the country group Midland? Omar is worried that Bombastic is busy. Oh, hold on, my baby boy's calling me. Hello? Hello? No. Yeah, I realize that now. Does he know that you're asking me? Look, can I talk to him real quick? Hi, son. You only called because you needed something, right? So, if you get your ears pierced and you come home and I tell you to pull them out, you're really going to pull them out? You would. Because that's what your dad just said, basically. Yes. Yes. Son, nobody in our family gets their ears pierced. No guys get their ears pierced. Why would you start? Hmm? Not my brothers, not my daddy, not my uncles, not my tatas. The only person Viv doesn't have, not your first cousins, they don't have their ears pierced. The only people that do are a few of my generation. Huh? Okay, be different by not getting your ears pierced. Emiliano, you know exactly what I'm saying. Hmm. Well, he can wait one more year. He's been waiting, what, 4 years already? He can wait one more year when he's an adult and decides to do what he wants. Thank you. All right, baby. Love you. Later. Okay, let me catch up on the comments and then I'll tell you guys what happened. Casanova says that's good people. You know, everybody got their own life. They have their own decisions to make. Um, and then he says, do you know how to treat a woman even though they're acting up and just enjoying yourself in their way? Jen is here. Omar says peace to the host and chat. Bossy says, Omar, what are you doing? Casanova says, no, I do not. I'm here, Bass. Bombastic says SK forgot to have earrings on. Omar says, really now? Bombastic says, Omar, yes, I think so. And Omar says, couldn't even say it to my mom. First place. Boombastic says, in my opinion, a man should not wear earrings, that they should not paint their nails, they shouldn't get their legs waxed. That's some gay stuff. Omar says, Bass, I did. And because of that, I didn't make the army. And my girl left me. Omar! Whoa. Boombastic says, Omar, for what reason did your girlfriend leave you? Omar says, but she'll say she still loves him. Omar Plumber is laughing. Gabe says, Vanessa, I have two brothers, 3 years older, 10 years younger. Both have ear piercings. I don't remember. It's a choice thing. I don't feel you, Gabe. What are you saying? Casanova says, I like the fact that you don't want your son to pierce his ears. He's calling again. Hola. Yep. 100. No. Okay, you get them and then you're going to have to take them right off as soon as you get to Arizona. So that's your choice. Yeah, and then go show your tata and go show Theo Victor. They're going to rip them earrings out. If I don't do it first. Huh? Your tata's going to call you a joto. He will. That's gay in Spanish. He'll be quick to do that. Emiliano, yes, he will. Anyways, yes. But you're still going to take them off. All right. Love you. Later. Okay. So the first time it was his dad actually on the call. on the phone. Boombastic says the enemy is going to be attacking Vanessa. Stand firm, stand firm. I know. I'm telling you, Boombastic, there has been something ever since the last week. Maybe it started Friday. Last Friday, 2 Fridays ago, I believe is when it all started. When I stood firm and strong in what I believe in is truth and doing my job and being honest. That's when it started. Omar says she wanted me to get a professional after finding out a bit more about me. Job. Hello? Yeah, but he's gonna have to take him off as soon as he gets here. Yep. Bye. She wanted me to get a professional after finding out about more about me. Omar Plumber says job. Omar Z says I'm going to get my nose pierced and on my face too so I can look like the Hellraiser. Casanova says it makes no sense to get them pierced when you're just going to take them off. I know, right, Casanova? Omar says as we met on the street, she thought I was just a random guy in the street. Casanova says, do you think your ex-husband is doing that on purpose? I don't mean to intrude into your family business. No, this is the situation, y'all. My son's father is a tattoo artist. He was not a tattoo artist when we first met and when we first had my son. He became a tattoo artist. So he works in a tattoo shop where my son's father doesn't, I don't think he does piercings, but they do piercings in a tattoo shop. So he is only in that environment, my son is, when he goes to see his dad. And I want to tell you guys more, but I'm not. I'll just leave it at that, okay? So my son has been asking to get his ears pierced probably since he was 13. So 14, 15, it's been 4 years now. And I get this phone call every single time he goes to visit his dad, which is only twice a year. He only goes twice a year because he's so far away. But I'm telling him, those are getting pulled out. If he doesn't, I'm pulling them out. He's my kid, and I will do what I gotta do. But just about every single one of his friends has their ears pierced. And these are good kids. They're not into drugs. They're not in alcohol. They're not into drinking and doing all that. It's just what these kids are doing now, these boys are doing, getting their ears pierced. Let him deal with him, then. It's crazy that a parent will lead their children down the wrong road. It's rubbing off on him because he's been around it. And Gabe says both my brothers are considered more responsible and more accomplished than myself. And Casanova says, but I like the way that you think because my mom said you better never pierce your ears. Omar says, there we go. Casanova says, and she told me if you have your ears pierced, don't walk through that door. And how many are in the closet? Yeah, so his friends, is that what you're saying, Boombastic? Actually, the one friend that I don't think has his ears pierced is one that makes me think he's a little bit gay, but I could be wrong. And I'm not going to say any more of that either, because if anyone that knows me is watching, they're going to know exactly who I'm talking about. So I'll just leave it at that. Gabe says, I have just never felt the need to be pierced or tatted. Good for you, Gabe. I was very surprised at the last relationship I was in. The one that was like 5 years long. He didn't have a tattoo. A single tattoo. Now he did have piercings. Sometimes he would wear earrings, sometimes he wouldn't. But it's hard. Okay, who on here has ears pierced? Who on here has tattoos? Omar Plummer says, as times go by, kids are making the decisions while parents still work. And XX. Bombastic has tattoos. Casanova says, that's funny you say a little bit gay. Either you're gay or you're not. Omar's ears are pierced. Finally, Omar like told us a little something about himself. Gabe says, remember it's not like the 90s when we were growing up. Piercing and tattoos are way. Okay. I only had a few piercings on my ears. Those were the only piercings I ever had. Now I just got one. I do have one tattoo. That's it. It's really awful, okay? I don't know another word to say. That I go to my son's high school. These kids are under 18, most of them. There might be a few that are 18 and older. They are walking around with so many tattoos already on their arms. These girls, there's a trend of having like kind of like a garland tattoo all on their leg. I'm like, girls, why didn't somebody tell you no? Omar's okay. When was that, Omar? Have you had a girlfriend since then, Omar Plummer? Casanova says he doesn't have no piercings. He does have a tattoo on his right upper arm, says his name. Like I don't remember my name. Abu Plastic says I recognize that familiar spirit, and there's a lot of gays. Omar Plummer says, but that leads to gayism somewhat. Omar Zaman says, I used to wear the fake earrings you could put on your ears. Okay, that's what I got my son, Omar Zaman. A few years ago, I was like, okay, you want earrings? So I did buy him a whole set of earrings that were magnetic or cuffs. And he would try them. I'm hoping, y'all, he says no. I'm hoping my son will chicken out and be like, forget it. He's obedient, you know, he's a good kid. He could have done this a long time ago and went against what I've said, but he's been a good kid. Gabe says he doesn't have either, but not against them. Omar Plummer says nothing is wrong with tats or piercings, but it's the understanding that the purpose is misused. And Gabe says I discriminate against face tattoos. Oh goodness. Casanova says, hold on, if I don't respond to any of your comments, I gotta go feed my dog. Okay. Boombastic says the word says we should not get no tattoos or piercings. It's heathen practices. I did read about tattoos. Like markings. Would a marking cover the tattoo and the piercing? Is that what you're saying, Boombastic? But as far as I remember reading a part in the scripture that talked about the men who had earrings. And that was heathen because it was a gold ring or something like that. Omar Plummer says, can I your tats? But Gabe, yes, the face tattoos are becoming more and more common. Uh, I I don't care for anything around here. But you know what? To each their own. I think, oh, when you're shedding blood, it's a heathen practice. Oh, okay. It's like, okay, you want to express yourself, then go buy a shirt. Wear what you want on your shirt. What else? There's lots of ways to express yourself than putting it permanently on your body. Ow. I'm thinking that my son's gonna be coming back to Arizona here soon. If he asked today. What is the date? Oh. Gabe says, guess it's a gray area because I have seen very good scripture tattoos. And Babasik says, cable by where in the Bible that says for you to get tattoos with scripture on it. Oh, Gabe. I think she says Gabe Soul. Where in the Bible does it say that you can get tattoos with the scripture on it? Omer Zaman says, I know you secretly love the guys with the face tattoo. Omar Plummer says, and that's what they used to miscellaneous words like those to each their own. I think that's a stupid words to use in reality. You know what? Everyone's gonna do has free will. They have the choice to do what they want. So that's what it is to say to each their own. I can't control what someone else does to themselves or what choices they make. I can only control myself. So my son clearly knows I'm not okay. But he's going to do what he wants. And there's going to be a consequence. Gabe says he never thought about it. I I don't know. Each one of us is different. We think differently. And when I came from a very professional work environment, and it was me judging, okay, when I would see someone have a tattoo that was clearly visible, I just kind of lost some respect for them in a sense. But that's something I got to deal with. That's between me and Jesus. Like, who was more wrong, me or them? I only have to worry about myself, though. Omar Plummer says, not true, Van, as there were times when things are not accepted till accepted. When it's accepted, then it becomes a trend. What? What do you mean? As there were times when things are not accepted. Things should never. Okay, the word of God doesn't change. So, like, an abortion should never be accepted. in my opinion, even if it's legal. Smoking weed, even though it's legal, should not be accepted because it changes your mind. It is toxins to your body. Is that what you're saying, Omar? I don't know. Bombastic says she doesn't know. Gabe says the scripture tattoos I'm speaking from are atheist standpoint. Omar Plummer says Bass, get out of there. Omar Z says I saw a customer that had a tattoo on his forehead. It said I am the way, maybe from the Bible. Mood Bossick says I'm single by choice, I'm an adult, and yeah. Omar Plummer has his eyes. I think I'm allergic to something. Or I don't know what's going on. Gabe, it depends on the size of the business owner, because there, for instance, I really like this clip. It was a short. President Trump was talking to his youngest son when his son was little. So this is like an older clip. And he's like, you're not going to get tattoos. You're not going to get piercings. You're going to get an education. Like, he was telling him very basic, a basic foundation that is lacking. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. He says stop eating peanuts. You know what? I did have peanut M&Ms. Excuse me. Gabe says last time I was in court, there was a uniform cop with cornrow braids working. See, the problem is people, and that shouldn't be, I don't think that should be allowed. You should have a clean cut look. But even in like NFL, they used to be like very uniformed, kind of a role model. I don't know. Sometimes I say things and I just don't know anymore. It's just, the bottom line is people, society are trash, going to trash. And it's because someone is allowing it. Omar Plummer wants to ask a question. Gabe says, last time I was in... Oh, I read that. Omar Plummer says, hope I don't disrupt. And Bombastic says, I'm depressed. Why are you depressed, Bombastic? There's a lot of people who do things that they didn't know better, right? And now, once you become aware, you can make a choice to stop doing what you did, ask for forgiveness, repentance. See, my lip is just like swelling right in front of you guys. And I just want to scratch it. Casanova is back. Gabe says, my point. Many educated professional folks be sporting tattoos and piercings. Okay, the educated people are the ones that are rioting and stuff right now. Again, education is not what it used to be either. As a whole, society is just going downhill. And it's very sad. Very, very sad. Casanova says, Boombastic, don't be depressed. Omar Plummer says, when Christ came, he did say he wasn't here to change things, but to fulfill the scripture. And to show which is to show the truth in the way to everlasting life. Omar Zaman says, I had a friend when I was in high school. He was really into drugs, and he is a cop now. And Casanova says, don't let that energy into your domain. I don't know who Ana Pacheco is. Does anybody else know? That means all this will have to take place. And then Omar Plummer says, as everything happens, benefits both good and bad. Anna says, I was on the stream you were doing at work. I don't remember. Wait a minute, do I? When we were talking about the wet socks. Omar Zaman says, what did you have to eat today? Any barbecue? Omar, don't talk about barbecue. I've been wanting some good barbecue. What did I eat? I made myself English McMuffin breakfast sandwich. That's what I had for lunch. And for dinner, I'm thinking about making myself some super nachos. And then I have watermelon to snack on. Remember that watermelon? I still have some. You know what? Life is not always going to be perfect. But Boombastic, I hope you don't get like full-blown depressed. I don't think I've ever been full-blown depressed. I just get a little bit sad. I have my moments like last night. Well, I was in my feelings this weekend. Probably Saturday. Maybe it was Saturday night. And then last night I was thinking about it again. But it'll be all good. Omar wants to know how's the weather. It was 114 degrees when I was driving home yesterday. I don't know what it will be today. Omar says it's breezy where he is. Omar Z says don't buy the super nachos from Subway. I didn't even know they had some. I don't know who this person is or what they're saying. Anna says, how's your day going? You know what, Anna? Work is a little bit crazy. It's very awkward. Um, so I'm so glad that my time at work went by fast today. And now I'm at home alone because my child is visiting with his dad, which is out of state. And when I'm by myself, I usually get into my thoughts a lot. I might clean, organize, but I need my money. Actually, I'm going to go out tonight. I'm not staying home tonight, y'all. I got plans. Yeah, when you're in your feelings, you just gotta talk it through sometimes with somebody. Omar Z says, not good. And Gabe says, I haven't had ribs forever. I know. I would love some good barbecue ribs. What would be a good side? Didn't I tell you guys about my coworker got fired? Gabe thinks I've got a date. No, but I'm hopeful I might run into someone. I am going somewhere where there is potential for me to find somebody in my area. Kind of, it's not too far from where I live. It's a different community, so I might find somebody. Omar Z says, I always want work to go by fast, but the worst thing you can do is to keep looking at the time. True. Omar Plumber says, is thinking I have a date too. I don't. Anna says, I might have ribs today. Oh, look at that. Anna's going to have some ribs. Yeah. I don't really know how to make good ribs anyways. Yes, Gabe. He got fired. And that's when I feel like the attack on me started. Was that day. And it's like, yo, I didn't fire you. You did that to yourself. And anyways, I'm not the person who hires or fires. It was someone else. But it's been stressful. What are you talking about, Omar Zaman? He's saying she ate the super nachos and kept going to the bathroom. Omar Plumber says he is thinking honestly. Yeah, it was. So the maintenance guy had like 5 vehicles, okay? Technically, he should have been parking them in the guest side. But so he was taking up 5 tenant parking spots. They were not operable vehicles. And the decision was made to tag his vehicles to be towed. He was going to be given a 48-hour notice. I was not there for the past 2 days because I was in training. So somebody went and tagged them. Apparently, as soon as he tagged them, the maintenance guy was notified. And so when I went to work today, all of his cars were gone, but he's still there. He was supposed to vacate because he, per his employment agreement, he was able to live there free. So he's not paying anything. So I don't know why it's so difficult because technically he's trespassing. And technically he didn't pay a single bill, so he should vacate. Anyways, I feel bad in a sense, but he brought that upon himself. Omar Plumber says, why is it so hard for people to find a partner when we see people every day? I don't get it. It's because we just don't, we're not compatible. We don't have enough things in common. Maybe people are just too scared to have a conversation just to say, to see if you have anything in common. Honest says, my sister had a car crash like 2 years ago and she got 125 stitches and I was crying. Oh wow, is she okay now, Anna? Omar says, are we trying to make someone into what we want or should it be a random question? Did you ever ask your question, Omar, or is that it? Zach says, hey girl. Hey girl. Sounds like the start of a country song. Anna says, yeah, she can walk way better. Oh, good. Good, good. Omar Plumber says, are we trying to make someone into what we want or should it be random? Well, I'll say this. In the last relationship I had for 5 years. Oh no, Omar Plumber. What did you just say? Zach, how is it? You got time off? Free time? Anna says, and she bought a new house and moved away. Oh, well, I'm glad she's doing better. The last relationship I was in, they told me, okay, this is like their first words. Don't change me. Love me for who I am. Okay, that's their first words. And I didn't like two really bad habits they had, which I think those two bad habits created other bad things about them. And so in the end, when I was fed up, how are you working nighttime, Zach? Omar Z says everybody's getting tipsy. Omar P says it seems like the human creates their own issues. So in the end, I told my ex-boyfriend, I'm like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm done. He's like, well, what can I change? What can I do? I'm like, you said for me not to change you. And if you haven't already figured out the path I'm on, because you're on a path of destruction and I'm not going that way. If you can't get on the path I'm on, then I'm not going to try to make you, or I'm not even going to ask you to. Does that make sense? Gabe says, have you ever wondered if you have met a couple of perfect matches, but you just didn't entertain it? I sometimes wonder that, Gabe, but this is my thinking. Okay, say there is somebody right in front of me and I'm resisting them. But this is what I think. If God has this person for me, there is nothing I can do that will stop that relationship from starting. And on the flip side, if I try to force something that God doesn't want for me, I can never make it work. So that's what makes me believe I have not had my perfect match. It would have worked out. Anna says, my other sister has a 1-year-old son and I am an uncle now. Even though I'm 9. Okay, Anna is a boy that is 9. Why are you on here? This is not for children. Zach says working in the gas station here on the floors when they closed. Okay, I don't know who you are, Zach. Um, what do you do at a gas station? Oh, tell me a little bit more. So you're working when the gas station closes, you're working on the floors. And he's saying toe fungus. Omar Plumber says the things that used to matter to the human being is no longer matters. And Gabe says you don't believe in missed connections. No. Mm-mm. Omar Plumber says, why look for a perfect match when there is no such thing as perfect? Zach says, we talked a long time ago, laying a floor. Oh, I was thinking you were more of a construction guy. And when I think of flooring, I don't think of that as construction. But okay. I see. Are you still single, Zach? Usually that's what we talk about here is relationships. I think more or less is where it always comes back to. Bombastic, are you still here? I hope you are. I hope you're not depressed by yourself. Let me find. Okay, so there was someone on my channel who I've had red flags about them. They claimed that they really like me, that they're going to come to Arizona to meet me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, they've been saying this. And this morning I said one thing, and that ended everything for them. I was like, okay, Lord. I didn't think this person was ever going to be someone to consider. But now, after this morning, I was like, I know for sure that person is not an option by any means because of how they were acting. So, in time, people show who they really are. Oh, Bombastic is here listening. So those little things make me sure that is not a missed connection. No, no, no. They said they were going to unsubscribe, so hopefully they did. And they don't come back. Gabe says, Omar Plumber speaking from a number standpoint, given the population number, odds are you have more than one perfect match. Good. Because for the longest time, I thought that because it didn't work out with my son's father, I would never be able to love again. I would never be in a relationship again. I didn't think I had any worth after being in that relationship. Okay, Zach says 99.5 are fake. And Omar Zaman says, I came to Arizona to see you. I was attacked by 3 dogs. Sure you did, Omar Zaman. What was it, on the bus or the train? Oh, I would be so happy though when I do find my person. Maybe I have to travel to find him. Maybe he has to travel to find me. I don't know. But I will be so happy. Zach says, I mean, no one is perfect. We all have some kind of flaws. Yeah, we are. But the thing about it is, my imperfections that I see in myself, my future husband is going to love them. He's going to love what I think is an imperfection. And vice versa. We're going to be meant for each other. Zach says, here I am. We're not going to go there because I don't remember what you look like, Zach, and we're not going to go there. All I remember is you struggled to get a picture. Omar Zaman says, I got off the bus and got right back on. Not in this temperature, Omar Zaman. Omar Plummer says, I think it's the choice we were born with, to choose one over the other. So you're saying if you had two perfect matches for you right in front of you, you would, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm trying to understand Omar Plummer's comment. Omar Plummer says, so sometimes good people will get turned down. A lot of times good people get turned down. You guys, I'm struggling in this dating app. When I first started doing online dating 6 years ago, it was maybe 3 months before I got, hey Daryl, before I was brave enough to go on a date. But once I made that decision that I was going to go on a date, I was able to find a date quick. But right now, I can't find anyone. I'm looking at my matches right now. Okay, this person is an idiot, so no. Oh, he's got a nice truck. Apparently, this is this guy's truck. He put a picture of it. Oh, I don't know. It says I've got matches. It's hard. It's hard to find someone. Omar Zaman says a lot of women and men have problems because of the past relationships and make comparisons. And Daryl says it's a lot of narcissistic people on these apps. Omar Plummer says, and they were turned down by people who also claims they were good. I'm going to tell you guys that I am seriously struggling right now. I am struggling big time myself. I'm forgetting I'm 45 years old, okay? The men that I'm looking for are between 45 and 55 is the age group I've set in my filter. They look old. But I have to remember, I'm old. And so I've got to change my mindset right now. Omer says he's not getting in a dating app. Daryl says he feels me. Gabe says, to be honest, Vanessa, do it old school by doing more social activities. Gabe, you just don't know. I live in a small city. And I do go out. I do go out to be social. I tag along with people and they're like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go here. I'm like, oh, can I come? It doesn't happen often because a lot of stuff doesn't happen here. Gabe is laughing at Omar, and Daryl says, I'm 55. People think I'm 43 or 40. And Omar Zaman says, Bon Jovi is available. Omar Plumber says, it looks awful to me, Gabe. Okay, so I didn't know who Midland was until that night that I was hanging out with my new coworker friends. And I was like, I wouldn't mind meeting someone that looks like a Midland. Let me pull a picture up of him. Where is he? Oh, this picture. I was like, I totally wouldn't mind meeting someone that looks like him. I don't know what his age is. Oh, goodness. I guess I have this idea in my mind, and maybe that's the problem. Daryl, that means the future kids will be worse. And Gabe says, what's wrong with the man being 42, 43? Oh, goodness. I I've been dating or been with men who are younger than me. At, not a lot younger, but like 2 years younger, or the youngest was 8 years younger than me. But I just have chosen. I really do think age is nothing but a number. It's just I've chosen the wrong person each time. Omar is starving, or he says I'm starving. I don't know. Omar Z says yes, a serious problem. Omar is calling you bombastic. Hmm. This is a subject that if I could go to school and figure out how to find my future husband, I would. If I could pay and order my future husband, I would. But I just have to be patient, unfortunately. Well, Gabe, as long as he already has his own kids or says he doesn't want any, then we would be fine. But now I think I'm at a point where I have to date older because I personally don't want kids. Of course, if the Lord blesses me with another child, I will take care of it and love it. But I don't want kids at this age. And I'm thinking if I go with a younger man, he's going to want kids. You know what I mean? Omar Z says mail order husbands for cheap. I don't want no one from Japan. Sorry. No, I don't want a Japan husband. Omar says I haven't said OMG in a long time. Oh, he also said don't try it. What are you saying don't try it for, Omar? Oh, are you saying somebody typed in OMG? I'm trying to find it. Hmm. Okay, so there was one person, talking about a misconnection. The very first guy that I told you guys I had to date him. I wouldn't call him my boyfriend because we never kissed, we never touched, held hands or anything. I may have danced with him once at prom. He was a really good guy, but he had a drinking problem at that young age. And he was driving drunk to take me home. And when he did that, that's when I was done. I was like, okay, I didn't feel an attraction towards him, but I was like, it could happen, in time. But when he chose to put my life in danger, that was a complete no. Like, I didn't have to think twice about it. He was the only person who might be that lost connection, possibly. Omar says it's hot in here. Gabe says, Boombastic, you got any plans for the evening? Omar Plumber says, soon. No one can be in here. David Bender says, hello, Wisconsin 51, and I want to the homecoming, but never prom because I worked. I never kissed my girlfriend. This is back in 1990. Thanks for sharing. So he never went to homecoming. Or no, he never went to prom, but he went to homecoming. He never kissed his girlfriend. Back in 1990. Omer says, Bass, she's relaxing. Oh, Omer says, Bass is mine? What? Omer is claiming you. Bostic, if she's listening. Omer Z says, my uncle has been married and divorced 4 times and told me each time this is the one. Omer Z never went to prom. Aw. Prom is fun. It is fun. I have some stories of kind of going to prom and driving around in a limousine. And then when I have my stories of when I actually went to prom. It was sad. I didn't go my senior year and it was sad. I went my junior year to 2 proms. There was this kid. Okay, I say he's a kid because he was a freshman. And I was a senior. And when he found out I didn't go to prom, he's like, Vanessa, I would have gone to prom with you. I would have. And he came from like a rich family. He's like, I would have gotten a limousine and picked you up and we could have gone to prom together. He was cute. I sometimes wonder what happened to him. But 3-year difference in high school is a big difference. Omar Zaman says, Omar Plumber says, wow, share a little. Omar Z says, no, the girl liked me, but she had a boyfriend. My son didn't go to his junior prom, so I hope he goes to his senior prom. It's not a big deal, but I don't want my son to like wonder what would a prom have been. Actually, he did go to prom. He went with his friends. He didn't go like officially with anyone, but hopefully his senior year he gets to take someone. Oh, thank you, Miracle. We're talking about dating and prom and age differences. We're all over the place right now. Okay, you guys, if you looked at my shorts, that I did last night. Okay, when I was looking at myself in the mirror at the hotel, I was looking good. But when I look in the mirrors that I have here at home, it's because they're angled either down or up. I don't have a really good mirror. I don't like the way I look in my own mirror. But when I was looking at myself in the hotel mirror, I was like, I'm looking good. I wish I would have done more little video clips though of myself. So yeah, I put some shorts up. I was feeling myself. I was in my feelings, but also feeling myself at the same time. Omar Z says same thing. She was a senior. I was in 10th grade. Oh. Yeah, so the 2 proms I went to the prom with the guy I was dating that was driving drunk. Okay. And it was at his school, which was out in a different city. And then I went to my prom by myself. Me and my friends went our junior year by ourselves. We had fun. Omar Plummer says, what would you do if someone marries you and asks for a divorce in 2 months without any real reason? I don't know, Omar. Those are the things that I can't give you an answer because I don't know. I would hope that doesn't happen. I wouldn't sign the papers, I guess. Oh, goodness. There's a few people who don't sign their divorce papers. Probably a lot more than we think. Omar says, oh, hope. Hope? Nope. "21 Questions with Vanessa." Omar, what? He's saying don't try it again. Omar Z says she told me to go to the prom with her. And when it was over, she was going off to the hotel with her boyfriend. Okay, so she told you, Omar Z, that she wanted to go to prom with you, but then after prom, she told you, I'm going with my boyfriend. Is my camera still working? Omar Plummer says just sign and let go. Oh, for the divorce. I hope that wouldn't happen. Oh, so she probably was using you to get out of the house or something? I don't know. Omar P says something like that happens to me. Wonder if it's an Omar thing. You were married for a few months or whatever and then divorced? Gabe says, was it because said boyfriend was an older guy? That's what I'm thinking. Okay, you guys, this is kind of on the same subject because it was a high school dance. And my best friend used to date an older man. I would say he was, I don't remember, maybe 27-ish, when we were 17, 18, because I don't exactly know when this happened. So her mom pulled up to the dance, sent in her cousins, her like cousins her age, my best friend's cousins that are her age, and they went to go find me at the school dance because they knew I would be there because I was in student government and I would decorate for the dances and then stay to clean up. That was my thing. Plus, I liked to dance. So I got pulled outside to go talk to my best friend's mom. And she's like, "Do you know where Trinice is?" Because she obviously knew she wasn't at the dance where she said she would be. And y'all, it's always been in me to tell the truth. I was like, "Yes, she's with that boyfriend of hers." And so that was a Friday night. My best friend did not talk to me all weekend. Monday came around and she was upset. I was like, "You shouldn't be with an older man." And you know I'm not going to lie. She got over it though. Gabe says creepy. Yes. And Omar says most girls or women know those tricks. I need a Band-Aid. Yeah, that was very creepy when we were in high school. I was like, why would you be with someone like that who's much older than you? Well, she's still my best friend, so she knew I was looking out for her, even though she thought I wasn't, at the time. Omar says you inform on me as my friend. Gabe says, at least tell me beforehand if you're going to use me as an alibi. Like Omar Zaman, he already knew beforehand he was going to be the alibi. Omar Plummer says, thought you had my back. I have Jesus's back, or Jesus has him. I want Jesus to have my back, so I need to be truthful all the time. My son forgot his real ID. Thankfully, when I went to take him to the airport, thankfully, minors do not need to show ID. So he got very lucky. I'm only saying that because I was looking at his ID right now. Yeah, my son is coming back to Arizona. They're doing a road trip back. Thank the Lord. uh, okay, we lost Casanova. I'm sure we lost, what was his name? Zach. I don't think Boombastic is here anymore. Sometimes I don't know if it's worth me coming on here to go live anymore, you guys. Omar, if I w- I didn't do that either. Well, how do I say this? I wouldn't ask my friend to live for me. I wouldn't do it. Gabe says home alone. Vanessa's situation is more like homegirl alone. Yep, I'm alone. And I do set up as if somebody's trying to break into my house. Like I have things barricaded. I have my doorways barricaded and everything. Omar Z says if we were both in two separate interrogation rooms, I don't think I could trust you. Nope, you couldn't, Omar. You're right, Omar Zaman. Omar Plumber says didn't say you did, but come on, Van. Nope. I can't think of. I mean, there's times where I was doing something I shouldn't. But if I got in trouble, like I wasn't going to hide over it. Does that make sense? And I was going to face the consequence and take full responsibility for it. And when I would do something I wasn't supposed to do, I thought about it like, is this worth the consequence? I would ask myself that. Sometimes it was a yes. I want to tell you guys something about me. um, I've been, I'm going to do air quotes, boy crazy ever since I was about, oh goodness, ever since I was about in 5th grade. What age is that? Kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So I was like 10-ish, 10, 11. And we went to, I never had a boyfriend though. I knew I wasn't allowed to have a boyfriend. So I did not have a boyfriend, but I would try to sneak little notes here and there. That was the extent of it. But I remember I was in 9th grade and my cousin was in 12th grade, and we went to or maybe it was, yeah, we went to a football game, a high school football game. Omar Plummer says there was a girl next door who truly liked me, but she was like 14. I was 19. My friend went there and she got pregnant. My mom was mad at me. So it wasn't your baby. Gabe says, I have spent one night in the drunk tank when I was in my 20s. Omar Plummer says, but I didn't, as mom wanted to call the cops if it was me. Omar Z says, even something small like who took the last piece of pizza that you didn't pay for. Gabe says, boy crazy. Okay, so I was in 9th grade. My cousin was in 12th. And she was like my best, closest cousin at the time. So we went to a game. There wasn't a lot of people. And so she went to sit, she was sitting down already with her friends, and then I came up. I think I had my friend with me. or maybe she was in front of me. I don't remember the exact details, but there was these guys that were older. They were even older than my cousin. They were about 5 to 6 years older than me. And they were looking at me and making these comments like, you're fine, you're whatever. Okay. And I go and sit down with my cousin. And this guy comes from the group that was standing. And he comes and says, "Oh, my friend wants to talk to you." I wasn't going to, y'all. I was not going to because they were too old, okay? They were not my type. They were too old. But my cousin, she turned around and because she knew I was boy crazy, okay? She's like, "If you go over there, I'm going to go grab you and slap you or something like that. I'm going to beat you down." I was like, first of all, I busted up laughing because she was so serious. I was like, I'm not going over there. But yeah, that was a funny story. I never forget that. Me and her, we will laugh about it. I've put, I brought her along with with some of my boy crazy situations. But thank the Lord, we were always protected. Nothing ever happened. It was just a good night, hanging out, having fun. Omar's looking at Gus the crazy eyes. Gabe says, like, "I've always suspected there's something very mischievous behind that smile of yours." Mm-mm. I never had relations or anything until I was with my son's father. So I was older. But I had crushes, you know? I didn't have no kisses or nothing like that. No. I knew how to behave. It's one of those things when you're not allowed to have something you wanted, and I wasn't allowed to have a boyfriend, so I wanted a boyfriend. And I had a lot of crushes, but there was never any action ever. I shouldn't say ever, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna snooze my alarm because I need to go change so I can go out, but I'm gonna hang out just a few minutes longer to wrap this up. Omar Z says, "I remember always wishing I was older when I was a kid, but not now." Omar Plumber says, "As men, we know it." Gabe, I was expecting it. I still have crushes. For instance, who is my latest crush? Like, as far as celebrities go, Midland. The guy I just showed you. I don't know why I've never seen him before, but when I was hanging out with my coworkers and that particular music video was on, I was like, "Hey, this man is good looking." So he's my current crush. Furious cannot stay. It's good to see you, Furious. Oh, goodness. No, there was never any action. I wasn't even any talk either. My best friend used to want me to go with people all the time. She's like, "This guy likes you, Vanessa." I'm like, "No." So I was boy crazy, but I was very picky. And therefore, I ended up not ever dating anyone in high school except for that one guy that ended up drinking and driving. Gabe says, "I had very strict parents growing up and it made me a smooth operator." Oh, look at Gabe. Omer says, "Forrest Gump." Furious says, "Love you, Jesus Christ first. Don't forget to unsingle yourself." All right, Furious. Oh, thank you, Furious. But have any of, okay, nobody really commented when I was talking about the mirror and stuff like that. Have any of you felt like you look good in certain mirrors, but in others, you don't come off that great? You had a bad friend, Van. Guess she was already out. Basically, all of my friends that I used to hang out with in high school, they literally all got pregnant during high school or shortly after. In my friend group, like some of my friends are grandparents already and have been for quite a few years. And my son is still in high school, just turned 17 this past month. Yeah. So yeah, I might have been boy crazy, but I was, what's the word I want to say? I was innocent for a long time. Not my friends though. Omar Z says different mirror makes you look different. The ones at the airport are the worst. Oh. Omar says, yeah, as I did eyes your full pic today for the first time. Omar, are you saying that you looked at my short? Gabe says you kept it locked. You mean? I guess that's what I'm saying, Gabe. Sometimes I don't know where you're from, Gabe, exactly, but sometimes I struggle with some of your slang words. Omar says, don't try it. Don't try what, Omar P? Omar Plumber. He says, don't try it. Didn't eyes and you respond? I mean, I have been working out. What is it called? Consistently. And maybe that's why I felt like I looked good in the mirror today or this at the hotel. Maybe my work is paying off. I don't know. What does it mean when someone says DM me? Direct message or PM, private message. Omar Plumber says, you did respond today. Oh, yes, I did. I did respond. Your friends from high school didn't keep it locked. Yeah, they didn't. Even though I'm sitting here telling them, you shouldn't do that. You know, because we would talk about that kind of stuff. I was like, why would you do that? Wait for marriage. Omar Plumber says, think I said every car needs a driver. Yes, what does that mean, Omar? Okay, that was a different video. So yeah, I'm sorry, I confused that. What time is it? Oh, I still have a little more time. Omer's laughing out loud. Yeah, Omar responded to one of my shorts. Every car needs a driver. And I'm like, I gave him the eyes. I was like, I don't know what you mean, but thanks for the comment. Omar Z says, do you remember the health guy Richard Simmons? Oh my goodness, Omar Z. Don't put that in my mind right now or ever. I don't want to remember that. Gabe says, every car needs a driver, question mark. Yeah. What is that about? I remember. One of my real friends is subscribed to my channel, and her daughter, I think, is always on her phone, so she messages me. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna report you. Excuse me. Omer says, not so intelligent. It's a brainstorm. Here we go with the brainstorm. But I went to the movies when we went to watch Karate Kid. My friends' kids were there. I think they were watching movies with their grandma. And her youngest daughter came running to me and gave me a hug. And so, I talked a little bit. I'm like, hey, what did you come to watch? And so she was watching Lilo and Stitch. And she's the one who just texted me right now. And she's like, I did see you at the movies. She was cute. And then her older daughter came to me later, and she's like, hi, what are you watching? She's so sweet. And my son's like, how did they know you? I'm like, son, you know they know me. Car needs a driver. Yep. All right, y'all. I think I'm going to end it here. I'm going to go change. I'm going to go out. It's hot. I need to put on sunscreen. Put on a hat. Actually, I think I'm going to be indoors, but it's still hot. Thank you for being like number 14, Omar Plummer. Omar Zaman says, yeah, that guy had a TV show. All right, see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. I will be back tomorrow for Bible time or later tomorrow. All right? Send y'all peace and know that Jesus Christ loves you the most. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Let's go.